All right, this is the ACLU. What do you know about the ACLU?
AC. Didn't we talk about this?
We did that, yeah, we did that. What's the ACLU?
Administrative, logical, technical.
Civil liberties. They're what are they a group of? A group of what?
People.
Group of
I'm assuming people
there are people that do what for a living?
monitor us.
Yes, they're a group of lawyers that if you had a problem, they will maybe sue for you. And do you remember me saying sometimes they're a little liberal for me?
The American
Civil Liberties Union, group of lawyers. Okay, this is a ACLU case. And I'm going to read you the title of the story here. And I want you to tell me the two things that don't matter here. This is a legal case, right? Indiana judge rules prison must provide transgender surgery for inmate who killed baby. What two things in that sentence don't matter when it comes to this legal case?
Prison.
What's that?
Prisons. No.
That does matter. Always.
Can you read?
Indiana judge rules prison must provide transgender surgery for inmate who killed baby. What part doesn't matter? We're talking about someone's rights here. The killed baby doesn't matter in this case. I'm not saying a killed baby doesn't matter. I'm saying in this case, the crime that the person is in prison for does not matter. Okay? But that, by putting that in there, what does that do for us? What does that do to us? Does that help our opinion, or does it give us an opinion already? Because does this person have the right to this if they kill a baby? No, they don't, but that's not the question. You have to throw the crime out. What else do we have to... Well, okay. Transgender surgery is the other one, but it kind of does matter. Let me read you what happened here. A federal judge has ruled it would be unconstitutional for an Indiana prison to deny a transgender inmate sex reassignment surgery following an inmate's lawsuit against the facility. So what this judge said was the state of Indiana has to pay for this person's sex reassignment surgery.
Teachers, please make sure you have posted attendance.
The Constitution
Thank you.
said anything about sex reassignment?
No. But the ACLU argued that the law is a violation of the 8th Amendment's prohibition of cruel and unusual punishment. What they were arguing was that would be cruel and unusual for y'all to deny this surgery to this inmate. If I'm in prison, now what do you have to put away here? There's two things we have to put away when we're looking at this case.
The crime.
The crime, and what your stance is on transgender sex reassignment surgery. We have to put that to the side. Right? So let's say this person who's in prison, if I'm in prison and I need quadruple bypass surgery, is the state of Texas, are they going to pay for that? Yes, they are. Why are they going to pay for that?
But you have to go.
I have to have that. That's life and death, and I'm not on my own. If you're a prisoner, the state is taking care of you, right? So it's up to them to make sure. I mean, if you're in prison, I think you get like dental checkups, you get health checkups, and if you have something wrong, they take care of it. What's the difference between quadruple bypass and, let's say, any plastic surgery?
One of them's a need, the other one's a want.
So I'm going to put away sex reassignment surgery and just say cosmetic surgery. If you want a nose job, should the state pay for that? No. So I don't want to just look at this thing and use some prejudice or stereotypes against that. I just want to look at, does this make sense? If it's a life or death situation, that needs to be done. If it's a choice, if you have the money for it, I'd say, yeah, go ahead. How do y'all feel?
I feel like when you're in prison, some of your work things
but not the right to live.
You don't need.
Quadruple bypass is different, but choice surgeries, okay. I thought it was kind of, when they went to the Eighth Amendment, cruel and unusual punishment. Because if he was outside, if he could afford it, I guess he could get it, but I don't know how, I'm sure that's pretty expensive. I don't know. I've never looked into it. I'm sure it's multiple thousands of dollars, and I'm wondering if he could pay for that.
What are we talking about?
The ACLU sued for this guy to have surgery in court. It's a sex reassignment surgery, and the court ruled that the state has to pay for it. But it doesn't matter the sex reassignment, it's just that's a choice surgery versus we said like a heart bypass surgery. They'd have to pay for that. The state is going to appeal the decision. An Indiana, okay. The Attorney General made an emotional statement here. An Indiana inmate convicted of murder wants our taxpayers to fund their gender-altering surgery. Hoosiers do not want this. The fact that he was convicted of murder doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Does that make sense why that doesn't matter? It's whether this is about a rights issue, not.
They just added that in there to swing your opinion.
Right. Now, I'm gonna completely maybe sway your opinion if you're on the fence on this and show you a picture of this person, which doesn't matter. What the person looks like doesn't matter. However, being me, this makes me laugh because of who I am. That's the person. Looks like Venom. And now to also, and I'm not making this also makes me chuckle. I'm not trying to be whatever here. In a separate lawsuit last year, this person filed a civil lawsuit against the prison chaplain for allegedly prohibiting him from wearing a hijab, which is Arab women wear the little covering things. That's what that is. Outside his immediate bed quarters, despite identifying as a Muslim woman. Identifies as a Muslim woman.
And there's a safety concern with wearing a hijab.
I would think so. And I also would tell this uninformed person, would you like us to go ahead and take you to Iran and drop you off, where you could explain to them that you're a Muslim woman and see how the Muslims treat you 3 seconds after you land in their country and send you to prison and beat the crap out of you in prison. Anywho, something else here. There's the New York City mayor. Anybody hear this one? Eric Adams. This had to be on one of y'all's stuff. He is facing federal indictment. He has not been arrested. Federal agents came in to his home and confiscated his phones and some other stuff. He's been indicted by a grand jury on charges connected to a federal probe. They are investigating. It seems that let me see if I can get this. He's accused of being a, quote, federal agent. Where'd it go? Details about the exact accusations remain unclear. They are believed to be connected to allegations of the Turkish government illegally funneling money into his mayoral campaign in exchange for approval of the Turkish consulate in Manhattan. So it has to do with his dealings with a foreign government and receiving campaign donations from a foreign government for a favor. Can't do that. So now, look at your questions. I want to go to indictment on the back side. Y'all ever heard of an indictment? Okay. They mentioned the word grand jury there. There's a jury and there's a grand jury. Never been on a jury. I've been on a grand jury twice. They're two separate things. A jury hears the case and decides guilt or innocence. So you might meet and spend a day or a week or 2 weeks hearing the case, and then you decide guilt or innocence for this person. You decide the outcome. The grand jury does not decide guilt or innocence. If you're picked to be on the grand jury, you're there for 6 months. You meet once a month. And the district attorney, which is the prosecution, the district attorney will present like 20 cases. I know, tell her you're in class. See, Coach Ross going to take my phone off. No, what was I on with? Yeah, they'll present like, say, 20 cases that morning. And it's not the entire case. They'll say, you know, we arrested Noah Bartlett at this place. He was doing this. We found this, and we're accusing him of this. We're asking you to indict this person. So,
So that he can die means.
well, I haven't said it yet. But that's what the grand jury does. If you're indicted by the grand jury, there will be a trial. They do not decide guilt or innocence. They decide if there's enough for a trial or not. So don't try the whole case. They decide if there's going to be a trial or not. If the grand jury acquits you, if you are acquitted by the grand jury, what word is in acquitted? Quit. That means there will be no trial. Do we know if you did it or not? No, we don't know. If you're acquitted, no trial. If you're indicted, you're in trouble. There's going to be a trial. If you are acquitted by the grand jury, could you be brought before the grand? Now, they don't bring you. Okay? You don't go. It's just the district attorney. If you're acquitted, could your case be brought before the grand jury again? Yes, because there has been no trial. There's no guilt or innocence. It doesn't really affect you at all. Nothing changes about you. They can try again and again and again here. Okay? So acquitted and indicted. Everybody down with that? Everybody good? Okay. All right. Jump over to what we got.
What is indictment then?
It means there'll be a trial. It means you've been found that there will be a trial. If the grand jury indicts you, there will be a trial. Doesn't mean you're guilty or innocent. We don't know that yet.
We're on number 9 or something.
Yes, okay. And we did this a bunch. Assembly and petition. What does that mean?
People could get together, guys.
Get together and gripe. As long as you don't infringe on other people's rights, you can get together and gripe. If we're griping about Greg Lowry, can we block the courthouse? No, can't keep people from getting in the courthouse. What if I turn and my sign hits some old lady in the face?
Assault.
Now I'm in trouble. If she wants to press charges, I'm in big trouble. Now, if you hit somebody with your sign, yes, you are in big trouble. All right, civil law and criminal law.
Civil law is like lawsuits. Criminal law is somebody committed a crime.
I've got it. I used to say criminal law involves crimes, but I fixed it. Civil law involves how you're treated. If you're mad at a company or feel like your rights have been violated, you've been treated wrong, so you're going to sue them. Divorce, you're upset of how you've been treated. Criminal law involves stealing and breaking stuff. or a body.
You say the body?
A body. Isn't that right? If you beat somebody up, that's a crime. So you're either stealing stuff, stealing a body, or breaking stuff and breaking a body. Y'all agree with that? It's physical. Criminal court is physical stuff.
Civil court's emotional.
However, I'm going to try to kind of change that here. There are two separate courts. You have civil, you have criminal. O.J. Simpson was found guilty in criminal court, California State Criminal Court. He was found not guilty because prosecution was stupid. Could he ever have been tried again for that case? No. Can't be tried again. He could come out and they could find new evidence. He could come out and say, I did it. Doesn't matter. He's found not guilty. He was sued by the Ron Goldman family, the guy he killed. They sued him on the ground and charged him with causing the death of these two people. Which, if you cause the death of someone, have you violated their civil rights? Yeah. Yes, you have. So he was found guilty in civil court. He had to pay him money, but he said he didn't have any. He owed money.
So he stole memorabilia.
And he lived in Las Vegas and played golf every day. I can't live in Las Vegas. I can't play golf in Wise County, and I have a job. He said he didn't have enough money to pay them, but he lives in Las Vegas and played golf every day. That's weird.
There's a lot of money.
Yeah. Does this make sense? This idea. All right. On the back side, there's two types of crimes. It has nothing to do with the crime itself. It has to do with the jurisdiction. What's jurisdiction mean?
Where it's at.
Who has the say-so over it? Yeah, where it's at.
Federal state.
Federal and state. There are federal crimes and there are state crimes. I told you already, if you rob a bank and take money,
Federal.
that's federal, because it's federal property. If you shoot somebody or beat somebody up while you do that, that's state. That's a state crime. Oklahoma City bombing. Y'all heard some stuff about that, right? Anybody ever been there? I've never been.
What is it?
The Oklahoma City bombing. They got they got chairs out. A lot where the building used to be there. They built like this little park. And for the little kids, they have little chairs. There's 185 chairs seated along the river there. Timothy McVeigh was mad at the government, so he filled this U-Haul truck with ammonium nitrate, to fertilizer, which is very highly explosive in certain situations, and had a little timer in there, and he parked it in front of the building, walked away, and it blew up. And it blew the front of the building off and killed 185 people. The first floor was a daycare. And he killed multiple babies, little kids. Oklahoma was very emotional about it. It's federal property, so it was a federal crime. It's murder, so it's a state crime. And the feds in Oklahoma sat down together. Here's what they sit down together and figure out who has the best case, who has the best chance of winning, and who has the best punishments. Oklahoma wanted to try Timothy McVeigh 185 times. One for each murder, because it was emotional. They knew they couldn't do that. I think they were just sending a message to the people that we're trying to fight for y'all. The feds took the case, and they tried him, found him guilty, and he was executed. They happened to catch him because I think a guy up in northern Oklahoma, a little rural sheriff guy, pulled him over on something. Didn't know it was him, just pulled him over, and he pulled over. And then recognized him from the pictures, and then they ended up getting him. So there's federal crimes or state crimes. Kidnapping, and now here I'm wading into some waters I don't want to wade into. Kidnapping used to be, okay, kidnapping, if it's kidnapping, the feds can get involved. and they have more resources than just the state. It used to be you had to cross state lines for it to be kidnapped. And it was hard to figure all that out, and the feds couldn't get involved. Now, anytime they know someone took somebody, it's now kidnapping, and the feds can get involved. So if you kidnap somebody and you kill them, it's a state and a federal crime, so they have to get together and figure it out. Does that kind of make sense? It's got two court systems, two different courts. You got indictment. Habeas corpus, a writ of habeas corpus. That is all Latin. Is anybody here thinking about doing law stuff? Anybody think about doing medical stuff? Like law stuff? Anybody think about doing law stuff? Okay. If you do law stuff or medical stuff, it's all Latin. Writ, what does writ mean? Written, it's a document. Okay? A writ of habeas corpus, what does corpus mean?
Coast.
Hmm?
Coast.
Why'd you say that?
Corpus Christi.
Corpus Christi. Okay, Corpus Christi means the body of Christ. What part means body? Corpus. Corpse. Okay? So I don't know what habeas means, but a writ of habeas corpus means to present the body. It doesn't mean show the dead body. It means if you've been arrested. Brady Lewis? Get your questions? You got your questions?
Well, to know my backpack's not here.
You can ask me. I'll give you some. If you've been arrested, very quickly after you've been arrested, you have to go before a judge. That's what present the body means. You have to present the body of the person being arrested before a judge. Was it okay to be arrested? This is part of your due process rights. Now you got your Miranda rights. That's part of the due process. And the habeas corpus. Was it okay to arrest you? And if it wasn't okay to arrest you, then they let you go.
Suing for emotional damages. It's suing for emotional damage.
That's habeas corpus. Now, ex post facto. Think of that. That's also Latin. Ex post facto. Do you have any guess what that possibly could be? Is there a word there that you think you know? After the fact. Ex post facto. After the fact. Post means after. This would be a law. All right, let's say the feds, let's say they hate Trump and they say, we're going to pass a law saying you can't have a hideous, ugly haircut. It's a federal crime to have a hideous, ugly haircut. And there's a picture of Trump in August with a hideous, ugly haircut. And they arrest him in October. You can't do that. You can't be arrested for a law that was passed. How do I word it?
After the crime was committed.
You did this in September. They passed a law in October. They can't go back and arrest you for what you did in September. After the fact. Okay? So they can't arrest you for something you did in the past. Not arrested. Now, when I say that, if the law already existed, yes. But if they passed the law in October, they can't go back to September and say you broke that law after the fact. And that obviously that's important because they can't gotcha.
Cannot be arrested for a crime committed before the law was passed.
There you go, it's perfect. If you ever get a ticket, you go before the justice of the peace or you go to municipal court, right? Is there a jury there? No, it's just a judge or a justice of the peace. That's called a bench trial because on lawyer movies, they tell them to approach the bench. That's where the judge is. So a bench trial is only a judge or a justice of the peace. No jury. And for minor stuff, that's how they handle it.
Bench trial is judge or justice of the peace.
Yes, just one person. I guess if you wanted to be real cool, you could ask for a jury trial on a traffic ticket. I guess. Costs a lot of money. Or it would cost you money in legal fees and stuff.
Double jeopardy. Can't be charged with the same crime twice.
O.J. Simpson could not be tried again after he was found not guilty. If you're found not guilty, you cannot be tried again for that case.
So cannot be tried for a closed case.
For not guilty. There is a movie out there, I've never seen it, called Double Jeopardy, where a husband fakes his death and frames his wife for the murder, and she goes to jail for it, and she gets out and finds him. And if she kills him, she's already served time for killing him. Can't be tried twice for the same case. So even if you serve your time, you can't be tried again for that case. But usually it's for the not guilty. Once you're not guilty, you're not guilty.
On the double jeopardy job, can't be tried twice, once found guilty or not guilty.
That's right. That's true. You can't be tried twice. Now, can you appeal a guilty verdict? Yes, you can. Can the prosecution appeal a not guilty verdict? No, they can't. They can't do that.
Control. You know why OJ was found not guilty? It's because the jury was mostly African American.
Well, and they did the glove thing, and one of the policemen, they found a bunch of stuff, racist stuff he had said and done in the past. So they distracted the jury from what they're supposed to be looking at, and they started investigating the police.
Like there was a case a couple years before that, and a lot of the African Americans did not appreciate it.
Yes,
King, whatever.
yeah, Rodney King.
Yeah, Rodney King. So they were like, yeah, let's just get
Yes.
back into the judicial system.
That was it. Yeah, that was it. Now, if you're not doing anything else, I want to show you one more thing about the court system. There's a sheriff in Kentucky. This has to do with slander and libel. That's why I asked the question here. This Kentucky sheriff pleads not guilty to fatal shooting of a judge in his chambers. So this day, there was people in the courtroom. Him and the judge were the only people in the office, and the judge was shot to death. He's arrested. He pled not guilty. There's another story here about this case. I'm going to read you the title, and you tell me if it's okay that they did this. Kentucky sheriff killed judge in his chambers following an argument, police say.
That's not, no, you can't do that.
Wait, what?
Say that again?
I did it on purpose.
Wait, say that again, I'm sorry.
Kentucky sheriff killed judge in his chambers following an argument, police say.
I mean,
It
if
says
that's
they
what the
killed.
police
It says
says.
they killed.
Hasn't been
I
tried.
threw two little words in there at the end.
They say.
Police say.
I don't know.
They can do that because they're telling you what police said.
That's right.
But it's gonna catch the eye, but.
Right.
Yellow journal.
It'd be better if they said, police say Kentucky sheriff killed judge in. If they start out with police say, that changes it. It's okay to do this because they threw that in there. But they threw it in there at the end, and you could say they're trying to, you know what I'm saying?
They're trying to swing your opinion.
Right. Kentucky sheriff killed judge in his chambers following an argument, police say. That's the truth. It is the truth because police have said that.
Was this recent?
This is September, Wednesday, September 25th.
Yesterday.
Authorities, he's turned himself in after the shooting. The hearing would normally be held in Mullins' own courtroom, which is still closed this week because of the killing. Stein's job made him responsible for security at county courthouses, including the personal security of judges. Cameras were inside the building, all the witnesses were interviewed. You're stressed. So there one camera's in the room.
Yeah, it'd be invasion of privacy.
Yes.
But how could there be eyewitnesses if it's just those two?
Well, I guess the witnesses testified that, or said he was the only other person in the room, and maybe there were gunshots. They were guilty. Maybe somebody could have shot inside the window.
See if Casper, we finally got